have done, we built some templates in bootstrap, and today we are going to understand some css and components that work in bootstrap. It let us know how actually bootstrap work internally, how to use it to leverage your own style of coding and make your own themes, right? So what we do here, we will create a new express project because I am using Node.js for each of my projects. Express bootstrap css cd bootstrap css and npm cu. This will update the packages and see. Oh, it's not installed. I check dates. What this will do, this add-on for Node actually updates our package.json. So any dependency that we have our package.json, if it has a updated version, it will update our package.json. Then we have to simply do npm install, and our new packages will be installed, new version of packages. So let's do this here. Let it finish, and then we continue. It's still taking time. Updates. taking more time than I expected. Uh, Totally, it's okay. So we do NCU update, so it will update our package.json file for updated packages. And now npm I, it will install our dependencies for our current project. I'm using Node.js to serve this HTML to the web browser. It's not necessary, but I'm using it. Now we also have to install live reload add-on, because we need to update our changes that we do in our HTML template to be reflected automatically in browser. So let's create some files, and this is bootstrap CSS, these are views, this is the layout, and this one is the channel layout that is going to use. And now we have our app.js. We are going to add this live reload portion code to our current project also. And so let's add some JS and CSS from our previous samples. Public script, we are going to add this to our current project. Style sheets, we do not need this file. And JavaScript is concerned, we may use this holder.js, but for now let it be here. And let's run our project. And node one, node one. Okay. Um, so this says we have not installed live reload. Uninstall. We have actually loaded different library load. We want that one, not with this hyphen. It may take some time to install, but generally it is very quick. Okay, now live reload is installed and it is started the application again. And now see in our browser how the application is running. Or whether it is running or not. It's actually running. So it will show a simple express page. Welcome to my express. So application is running now. So we have enabled live reload. So any changes that we make here will be reflected here. So all from hereafter, whatever we are going to do is going to do inside this jet file index.jet. Jet is a templating engine that we are using for doing our HTML stuff. It will process the code that is we write in J to and to HTML that will be given back to the browser when it makes a request to the server. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to know is that we have to include bootstrap CSS. Then we have to include a custom CSS that will be custom to our application. For animations, we use jQuery because bootstrap animation requires you depends on jQuery. So use a version, latest version for this, and then include bootstrap JS. So this is the general layout file that we will be using in our index.html. As you see, it is index.jet because it's written in jet, but it will be converted into HTML. This whole code will be converted into HTML when it's presented to the user. So what we are going to do now to get the laydown on the key pieces of Bootstrap's infrastructure, including our approach to better, faster, stronger web development. The web development with Bootstrap is really fast because you do not have to think front end in what you have to do in the scenario of a wide screen or ultra wide screen or small screen or ultra small screen. You don't have to think about all this. These are already implemented. You just use the predefined CSS styles and components, and you have a complete website running in no time. It can be a big site, but if it is really big, there are other options that you are going to consider. You are not going to use bootstrap as per I expected, but for scalable sites, still it can be used. So HTML doc type, HTML5 Doctype. Bootstrap makes use of certain HTML elements and CSS properties that requires the use of HTML5 Doctype, including it the beginning of all your projects. Doctype HTML. This specifies it is an HTML5 document. Bootstrap prefers mobile first interface because mobile is actually a mainstream now, so their focus is also on mobile first. With Bootstrap 2 we added additional optional mobile friendly styles. This is the words that Bootstrap says. Bootstrap official doc says we added optional mobile friendly styles for key aspect of the framework. With Bootstrap 3 we have rewritten the project to be mobile friendly from the start. Instead of adding an optional mobile styles, they have baked right into the core. In fact, Bootstrap is mobile first. Mobile first styles can be found throughout the entire library instead of separate files. To ensure proper rendering and touch zooming, add the viewport meta tag to your head. This one. This will ensure that the viewport will be rendered properly with touch zooming on mobile devices. You can disable zooming capabilities on mobile devices by adding user scalable no to the viewport meta tag. This disabled zooming means users are only able to scroll and results in your site feeling a bit more like a native application. Overall, we don't recommend this on every site, so use with caution because it takes freedom back from the user. So if you want to give the user the ability to zoom, use it, or if you want or don't want to give the user ability to zoom, add this stuff. Add scale equal to me 1 and user scalable equal to me no, right? These are added inside content, right? What we are going to use? We are giving him the ability to actually zoom in, so we will use the zooming feature. Now we go for the typography and links. Bootstrap sets basic global display typography and link style through its CSS. Bootstrap specifically we set background color to white, that is hash FFF on the body. Use font family base, font size base and line height base attributes as typographic base, and set global link color via link color at link color and apply link underlines only on hover. These styles can be found within scaffolding.class. it uses less bootstrap, using less uh, for its code. In all of the bootstrap you use containers, so you can keep apart the components that you are going to use for each of your portion of your website. So these you will make a container and do whatever you want to do in that container. Bootstrap requires containing elements to wrap site contents and house grid system. You may choose one of two containers to use in your projects. Note that due to padding and more, neither container is nestable. So containers cannot be nested, and it provides two types of container. One is simple container for responsive fixed width container, and one is container fluid for a full width container, the entire width of your viewport. So let's implement it and see how it looks. Container, and see here, inspect its body, and this is a container. We do not have added anything inside it. Let's have a paragraph. This is a sample paragraph inside container. Let's save it. So this is the container that we are having at 416 by 26. This thing that you're watching now is actually a Chrome developer tool. So let's change this container to container fluid and see how it looks. Well, let's make it a little larger. Let's change it to container again. What? See, it's the dimension, it's 970 to 26, and when we change it to container fluid, its dimensions are different, 949 into 26, 949 to 26, simple container, and this is a fluid container. Now I see this again. So this one and this one looks just the same dimensions. So what they do is it choose container for a fixed width responsive container, and it choose full width container which spans the entire. We have a typo here, and now we see, and let's see now. This is 627 to 26, and this thing is 627 to 26. As per they say, see this for use the dot container main container for responses fixed width container, and container fluid for a full width container spanning the entire width of the viewport. But what we are seeing here now, whether we use container or whether you use fluid container, they are both spanning the full width. We have to figure it out. We will figure it out later on. But for now, these are just the same. For this simple implementation, there is no difference. We can scale it a little more and see if there is, we got the difference. Here looks like we got the difference. In small screens there is no difference, but when we actually may extend it, till now we have not seen any difference in this. And inspect, and 1170.26 container, and this is also this, the things got changed now. This is 1170 and this one is 1119. if we decrease the size and again see 60926 60926. For small screens it does not, it's just the same, but for as we extend it, it start to change. 1170 into 26 and 1195 into 26. So we extended a little more of it and see it's still 1170 into 26 and it's 1320 into 26. So fluid container actually may spanning the whole viewport, and container limits itself to a certain extension and then it becomes constant. We will see later on how we will use it. So make this small again and align this also. So these are the two types of containers that Bootstrap provides us. So now we are going to the grid system that Bootstrap uses it to make responsive designs. Bootstrap includes a responsive mobile first fluid grid system that appropriately scales up to 12 columns as the device or viewport size increases. It includes predefined classes for easy layout options as well as powerful mixins for generating more semantic layouts. So let's introduce to the grid system. Introduction. Grid systems are used for creating page layouts through a series of rows and columns that house your content. So it uses a series of rows and columns in which all of your content that you are going to create inside Bootstrap will be housed. So here is how the Bootstrap grid system works. Rows must be placed within a container for fixed width or a container fluid for a full width for proper alignment and padding. Every row is a container. Use rows to create horizontal group of columns. Content should be placed within columns and only columns may be immediate children of rows. This thing to be noted, only columns can be immediate children of rows, and contents that we embed inside our web page will go inside columns. Predefined grid classes like .row and column extra small 4 are available for quickly making grid layouts. Less mixin can also be used for more semantic layouts. Column create gutters, gaps between column content via padding. That padding is offset in rows for the first and the last column via negative margin on row class. The negative margin is why the example below are outdented. These are the examples that Bootstrap using on its website. It's so that the content within grid columns is lined up with the non-grid content. Grid columns are created by specifying the number of 12 available columns you wish to span. For example, 3 equal columns would use 3 in column extra small 4. And the grid columns are created by specifying the number of 12 available columns you wish to span out. So there is a 12 column system. So if you want to span out the whole 12 columns, you can create 3 equal columns of 4 column size or 4 equal columns of 3 column size or 6 equal columns of 2 column size. So it spans out the whole 12 column system. If more than 12 columns are placed within a single row, each group of extra columns is built as one unit wrap onto a new line. Grid classes apply to devices with screen widths greater than or equal to breakpoint sizes, and override grid classes target at smaller devices. Therefore, applying a column medium device class to an element will not only affect the styling on medium devices but also on large devices if a column large class is not present. Look at the example. For example, applying this principle to your code. So we will use some of the examples. So the devices that that Bootstrap considered as extra small are the mobile devices that have a pixel density of this have a pixel number of 768 or less, but the device that have 768 or less number of pixels, the one it considers small devices are tablets that have a pixel larger than 768 pixel width. Here I say, on desktop monitors, laptops, it considers them as medium devices, and they have a pixel width of 992 pixel or more. And then there are large devices that are large screens, large monitors, and full HD monitors, about 25 inches or more, 32 inches, 64 inches, as large devices that have a pixel width of 1200 pixel or more. So here we are going to create an example. We are horizontally stacking some columns. So using a single set of column medium device grid classes, we are going to create a basic grid system that starts out stacked on mobile devices and tablet devices, extra small or small range, before becoming horizontal on desktop. Place grid columns in an row. Okay. So as from above we know, only a column can be a child of a row. So what we are going to create is a row column md1. We are going to create 12 columns. Column md1. So how many we have created here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have to get 12 columns. So if we for we have created this for medium devices, that is here MD means this is how these columns will appear on medium devices. These columns are lined up. If the screen is small, these columns are lined up one after the other, but as it enlarges, we extend the width. See, this whole becomes in the same line in a single row. They do not span multiple rows in multiple new lines. So it's all those columns are in the single line because of the large on large screens. So it have space, and on medium devices it will represent as a column list. Now we are getting more columns. Because this is jade and we have to take care of indentation very carefully. Row column MD8, column MD8, and column MD4. What we are going to do is to span out whole 12 column system that bootstrap uses. So this is the thing. Actually we can introduce a break here. It's br space br, right? So we can have a little gap and see if we extend this. This is the thing that is spanning out. So see for yourself. So this thing is spanning out 8 columns, and this div is spanning out 4 columns, and the whole becomes a 12 column as above. See, above one is also 12 column, and this one is also 12 column because bootstrap uses a 12 column layout. So this spans the 8 columns and this spans the 4 columns. This is how it looks in a large device. If we bring back to a small size, it will become a list. Because this is how it's going to be viewable on medium devices as per this is how we actually coded here to show columns span 8 columns in medium devices and 4 columns in next element to span 4 columns in medium devices. And let's do some more of this stuff. Pr dot row column md4 column md4 column md4 column md4 and column md4 column md4. So this time we are equally spanning out all the elements, and so if we extended it does the same, but this time it's only this is extended to 4 columns, spanning to 4 columns, and this is also spanning to 4 columns. This is also spanning to 4 columns. This is how it covers 12 columns. On medium device, on desktop it shows as a single line, and on the medium devices it shows as a list. Br row dot column md6 column md6 column md6 column md6. This time it spans out half of the full available of width of 12 columns. So this spans half of the 12 column layout, and this spans other half of the 12 column width. Now on desktop this looks like a table now, and but it's on the single line, it's not a table, it looks like that. And on medium devices it's a list again. What am I using right now? So what we can do here is to see how containers affects it. So if we introduce a container class and house each of our rows inside those containers, let's see how it looks. Container dot container and dot container see how it affects our page. Does it affected our page? It adds a little padding. This is how it looks when we edit the container, and earlier it was looking. This is how it looks when we remove the container on a big screen. Now what we are going to use to see how it looks when we add container fluid to it. And let's copy our code, and after some breaks, right, we are going to add this code, and this time we are going to use container fluid so that it will span out the whole width of the viewport. This does not spans out the whole width. If we increase the size to this much, it's only goes to a certain level of extension in the width, and after that it remains constant, but the fluid portion keep on extending and covers up the whole width of the viewport. This is 1256 into 16, and 1170. Same thing, but this is container and this is container fluid. Let's go to our normal size. So if you don't want your columns to display like a stack on smaller devices, choose extra small or medium devices. We use medium devices here. And if you want to view these things on a cell phone, which even have a lesser pixel width, so we will use extra small class for that. So it's all for now, and we will continue later on. Thank you.